Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for the afternoon session of the first day of our conference. It is a great pleasure and honor to have with us here today the Minister of Tourism of the Hellenic Republic, Mrs. Olga Kefalogianni, who will speak about tourism as a means for creating new employment opportunities and for supporting youth entrepreneurship. Following the Minister's presentation, we will have a plenary session on the private sector and its responsibilities. Madam Minister, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be with you here today. But I would like, first of all, to thank the Stavros Niarchos Foundation for a memorable evening last night at the Esplanade, and congratulate the amazing team of the Foundation for an impeccable organization, as always. The Dance of the Cranes, based on the idea of the architect Renzo Piano and choreographed by Renato Gianella, on the side of the Cultural Center, listening to the music performed by the orchestra of the National Opera, was indeed a pleasure for all senses. Thank you very much. Today, I would like to thank again the Stavros Niarchos Foundation and the European Foundation Center for co-hosting this important event. After last April's meeting in New York, this is yet another opportunity to reflect on one of the major social and economic problems of our time. The Greek society, and in a similar way, the societies in many other nations, is facing the challenge of healing the wounds of a dismal period as quickly and as efficiently as possible. But unemployment, and especially unemployment that affects the most energetic parts of our communities, is a persisting and complicated predicament. Youth unemployment has always been a problem. However, it has been gravely exacerbated by the economic downturn of the last 5 years. It now affects a broader range of young people than it did before the crisis. An educated and immensely skilled population in Europe and elsewhere is in great agony, and it is our duty to prepare a better future for them. As discussed in the April conference, there is no doubt that the creation of new opportunities calls for innovation and the collaboration of public and private sector institutions. Tourism might well be one of the fields in which collaboration may deliver fast and sustainable results. In Greece, there is strong indication that tourism is becoming a key driver for development and contributes to a dynamic restart of the national economy. Clearly, it is this industry that, in the long run, will support employment and the GDP. Tourism will help convey an image of reliability and stability for the country and stand as a paradigm in terms of attracting foreign and domestic investment. After all, it is this sector of our economy that has traditionally enjoyed a competitive advantage and, in some cases, features products and services of the highest level by international standards. In the past 2 years, we have tried to reposition Greece as a world-class tourist destination. The year 2013 was the year of recovery, with new records in arrivals and tourism receipts. Arrivals increased by approximately 15%, while revenue also rose by almost 16%. This year, the statistics look even better. Market research shows that in the first 4 months of 2014, arrivals are estimated to have risen by over 20%. We are positive now that good results have been the outcome of a concrete strategy and hard work in several policy fields. Ever since we assumed office, we have adhered to a strategic plan which will eventually lead us to better competitiveness and transform the Greek tourism into a diverse set of inspiring characteristics and possibilities. The Ministry of Tourism and this government as a whole has adopted a number of legislative measures and regulations in order to facilitate investments in hospitality, travel and leisure services, streamline administrative procedures, and improve the overall quality of our national tourism offering. We want to make it easier for businesses to start, grow, and, of course, employ people. In reference to mobilizing European Union and domestic funds, this government's strategy for the 2014-2020 period aims at utilizing resources in such a way so as to speed up changes and move towards a new development model. In order to succeed, the new model aims to promote extroversion for businesses in a very competitive international environment. Our plan for growth focuses on innovation and places special emphasis on job creation and the reduction of poverty. One of our main priorities is to promote all-around enhancement of entrepreneurship and development of business networks of horizontal and vertical cooperation. It is therefore imperative to focus on economic sectors, such as tourism, that have a competitive advantage and positive growth prospects at both national and regional levels. The new design for tourism development involves upgrading of human resources, improvement of company efficiency, and expansion into new kinds of services. Our plan for tourism promotes a diverse product that can attract more demanding visitors looking for unique, customized, fascinating travel and leisure services. Therefore, specialized programs will promote the evolution of new thematic forms such as medical tourism, agrotourism, wine tourism, religious tourism, cultural tourism. These will create opportunities for the young to enter the labor market and shape the conditions for the reversal of discouraging demographic trends in rural areas. We are confident that good prospects are ahead of us, particularly since the banking system is showing clear signs of stabilization and will soon reclaim its position as the powerhouse of growth. The Ministry of Tourism is about to give the green light to a range of large-scale projects that are expected to turn things around for Greece. It is anticipated that during the construction phase and afterwards, these projects will create directly and indirectly thousands of new jobs. However, we do not only aspire to the creation of more jobs. There are many young and skilled professionals out there who must be encouraged to go on and create their own venture or consider self-employment. Areas of integrated tourism investment can become an inexhaustible source of new jobs and new venture opportunities in regions that otherwise have little benefit from economic growth. The first integrated large-scale tourism investment has provided some valuable insight. In just a few years, this part of Western Peloponnese has become a hub that attracts young, energetic professionals from the wider area who use their skills as self-employed or through small-size business ventures. Over the past decade, innovations in technology and services have changed the face of the tourism industry. Small independent businesses in hospitality, travel, and leisure can really stand out from the competition. Tourism is also the generator of a series of new ventures, not only in strictly tourism-related fields, but also in supporting activities that are food supply or engineering. Tourism development can trigger knowledge-intensive services, such as market research and analysis, marketing services, IT solutions for tourism firms, innovative food and drink supply services, staff training, new forms of customized mobile services. This context presents a great opportunity for our young and educated workforce. With growing frequency in Greece and in other countries that we visit, we see young individuals who really astonish us with our ideas, creativity, and vision. It is our intention to multiply the number of young individuals who go on to make something of their own. We strive to improve the image of society towards entrepreneurship and urge bright and skilled people to take the risk. This country boasts a young generation which is high in expertise and provides a way of life that can attract youngsters from other countries. With this in mind, the Ministry of Tourism will soon launch a project that we call Greece for Startup. Greece for Startup is a coordinated effort which aspires to draw startup businesses towards Greece as well as to support development of Greek-owned startups. It will be a web-based platform in the beginning for exchanging new ideas and best practices that actively diversify Greece's tourist offering. Perhaps the biggest obstacle for young professionals who want to start their own businesses is finding their way through different financing options, finding the program or funding that suits their needs. Greece for Startup is designed to bring together innovative ideas and financing organizations. Hopefully, Greece for Startups will become a useful medium of communication between government and the private sector. And surely the government has much to benefit from this scheme, since for the first time, energetic and resourceful youth will have their voice heard. The Ministry of Tourism will come to a better grasp of the changes in the hospitality, travel and leisure sector, which will guide us to adapt our policy and allocate domestic and EU funds even more efficiently. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fairly confident that our long-term strategic plan for tourism is delivering for the young generation. It is time for sophisticated, sustainable, and above all, inclusive growth, because every society, every economy needs the youth in order to get back on track. With the opportunity of today's event, and while we are in the midst of a promising summer tourist season, I would like to urge private institutions to have faith in the young generation and the dynamics of the Greek tourism sector. And to the young people, we would like to say that we believe in your abilities and make your mark. Before I finish, I would like again to congratulate the Stavros Niarchos Foundation for their initiative, for their inspiration, and for accurately addressing some of the crucial problems of our time. Thank you for your attention.
I think there is time for a couple of 2 or 3 questions for the Minister to answer. So please, if any of you would like to raise any questions. Nobody? It was crystal clear. Thank you. And I think... Please, Linda, can you identify yourself?
Linda Gibbs from Bloomberg Associates. We can't figure out what medical tourism is. Can you say a little bit about that?
Can you bring another microphone? Can you bring another microphone here, please? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for the question. This is part of our effort to complement and to enhance the tourism offering. Greece is mainly associated up to now as a summer destination, as a sea, sand, beach vacation destination. Greece has a lot more to offer than that. And this is why our efforts are concentrated in enriching the tourist offering. One of the areas which we have identified as areas where Greece can have growth is medical tourism, and this is not something that the Ministry of Tourism has identified on its own. This is based on studies that have been made. One of them is the McKinsey study on the Greek economy, which has identified that medical tourism could indeed help in the recovery of the economy. This would be the combination of a medical travel with a vacation in our country. So we have identified the specific areas in the medical sector where Greece could have a competitive advantage, be it in terms of having very good qualified doctors and medical staff and medical infrastructure, or competitive pricing. And this is a way to give the opportunity for travelers to come to Greece and have a therapy or any other treatment and combine it with their vacation in our country. Thank you.
I think there is a question in the back. No, keep the mic here so she can reply. Thank you.
My name is Neshka Kvatik-Mihailovic, Secretary General of Europa Nostra, the voice of cultural heritage in Europe. And I had the pleasure of attending the breakout session on cultural tourism before lunch, and I thought it is important to convey some messages that were voiced at our breakout session to the minister here present. And one of the important concerns that were voiced on that session was that, of course, cultural tourism investing in developing cultural tourism in this country, like in other parts of Europe and beyond, is extremely important objective. But at the same time, the cultural heritage, which is the key asset for promoting cultural heritage in these countries and in other places, ought to be preserved in a proper way. That means that any cultural tourism development ought to be sustainable, responsible, high-quality cultural tourism. Otherwise, the resources that are at the basis of the development of that tourism can be seriously endangered. I just felt that this message ought to be conveyed to the minister, and we very much hope that the minister will indeed support the development of sustainable cultural tourism in this country.
Yes, let me just say that both the cultural heritage and also the natural environment of our country are two pillars on which tourism development must be based on if we want to have sustainable development. So, of course, thank you for your comments. We are collaborating with the Ministry of Culture in order to promote cultural tourism. And I think I can reflect what everybody in this room is thinking if they know how the Greek state has, through the years, preserved its cultural heritage. I think the archaeologists and all our scientists are always very, very protective of our cultural heritage, because this is not just part of our heritage, it's part of international cultural heritage, and this is an important message. We are not preserving the sites and the monuments for our own sake. We are preserving it and wanting to showcase them to the world, because these are part of world cultural heritage. Thank you.
One more question, please. Yes.
Thank you. My name is Pavlos Georgiadis. I would like to ask Ms. Minister. 3 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, the Minister of Rural Development and Food has approved a law for the multifunctional farms and cottage industry, which would allow farmers across the Greek terroir, small farmers that wish to diversify their incomes, also through hospitality services and tourism, to open up their farms, to these multifunctional farms. But unfortunately, and coming from the civil society for rural development, there has been a miscoordination with the Ministry of Tourism with respect to allowing licenses of touristic exploitation of these farms. What is your position about this? I would really like to learn more about why is this happening.
The tourist exploitation of the farms and of what we call agrotourism is part of the responsibility of the Ministry of Tourism. We have a draft law which is presented in the Parliament today on agrotourism and on wine tourism, and we are, for the first time, creating the legal framework for this tourist offering to be provided in Greece. I know that up to now there has been, we have absorbed European structural funds towards this direction, but to tell you the truth, it's not done in the best possible way, and it's not done in the way that our competitive markets have developed this kind of product up to now. So for the first time, the Ministry of Tourism is introducing agrotourism and wine tourism as special thematic types of tourism, and not only labeling, but also providing for the framework for how these enterprises can be licensed. And of course, this is a very big support for the rural areas of Greece, and we believe that they provide a very good opportunity for young and dynamic parts of our society, the young people of Greece, to be able to remain in their rural areas, in all the regions of Greece, and provide the opportunity for our visitors to have a unique experience of Greece in another way.
Thank you, and thank you, Madam Minister. Now we are ready to proceed with the afternoon plenary session. Thank you again.